876 stream. Left up.
So, a 3.5-year unbeaten record completely shattered, obliterated. Goals, added time, now add upsets to that, and that is exactly what Qatar has presented to us. This is Now Streaming Qatar. So for the first time since 1990, Argentina losing their opening game in the FIFA World Cup. That was against Cameroon in the opening day of Italia 90. Now, fast forward another 32 years, and here we are, Saudi Arabia, only their fourth ever victory at a FIFA World Cup. 1994, they defeated Morocco, Belgium. 2018, they defeated Egypt. And now add Argentina to that list. Argentina's first loss to an Asian team ever at the World Cup. We'll get down to this. We'll get the reactions, and we'll see what the rest of Jamaica is saying as well, and the entire world for that matter, as you all will see in the comments as well. Thank you so much for tuning in to our stream right here on 876 Stream. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, 876 Stream JA, and also on Instagram, 876 Stream, for all the latest content, tidbits, stats, did you knows, everything relating to the greatest show on earth. So it's that time now where we introduce our esteemed panel that we have for this morning. To my immediate right, we have Dexter's Labs, YouTuber, vlogger, photographer, everything all in one. And to my far right, the genius, the extraordinaire, Jeff Williams. Gentlemen, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Doing good, you know. Doing good. It's
All
a good
is well?
morning so far, man.
I go on, you know. Nothing.
Yeah? Wake up, everybody have them coffee?
No,
or the match wake up everybody?
No,
That
tea,
is
man.
it.
Tea that wake you up to, you, man. Properly wake.
Yes, quite a bit to get through. But before we get into everything that happened today, let me start with you, Dexter's Lab. Thank you very much for agreeing to come on. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Welcome, Simon. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
How's the reggae coach?
Good, you know. I'm there, you know.
Yeah.
442 records, you know. Fully active, yeah, man.
And how can I stop party?
No. Which party?
Yeah. For you, your first World Cup memory, do you remember that in particular?
Yeah, we were talking earlier, to jog on memory a little bit. World Cup 1994, and I just want to make a public service announcement to all Jamaica, everybody will watch. Brazil we're not Brazilian, and Brazil is not the only team in the World Cup. The reason why I say that is because growing up, my house, Brazil, straight. So 1994, I was supporting Brazil. I remember Bebeto, Romario, Dunga, the whole of them. That World Cup was interesting. I think they won that World Cup too. So yeah, that was my first World Cup memory. Brazil versus Italy. My mother, they are going to the house and them thing there. I remember that vividly. Yeah.
Yeah. And which team you support?
Portugal, you know. That's my team.
Okay.
I have two teams I was telling you earlier. Portugal and Italy. Italy disappoint me.
Okay.
Brutally disappoint me. But yeah, Portugal is my team.
But you're not one of those people that put like 5 flags on them car.
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. No. The kind of flag with it. Jamaican flag alone, yeah.
Cool. Jeff, you good?
I'm great. I'm here. I'm here.
Great to have you, man. Great to have you with us,
So,
man.
My first World Cup memory. I can't
Yes.
remember the first one, you know, honestly. I remember several.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to remember which one of the first. If I just arrange
Right.
it based off World Cup time, maybe I know which one of the first. But the one, a few really jump out at me. Definitely. You can know me as a young youth. Is it? So I remember the Zidane headbutt.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that it was great.
Nobody can.
Brother, that it was historic, you know,
Yeah.
like the man, I think he did just goal.
Yeah.
And then goes up, poof. I mean, I said, John, no, and the man, he's not going to walk off in the sunset as, you know, like, I think he's not get the golden boot. Everything did just seem perfect for the man, and then, poof. And then, a controversial one, you know, and, you know, the fans at home can tell me if they agree.
Yeah.
I remember Suarez handball on the line. At this age, putting myself in Suarez cleats. I feel like me not do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, the man not do it for him country, Look, think the man has sacrificed him country, like on the line. And then you get the red card and like him to fight it. Of course him knows say red card I got him. Know him I do. And him the man basic imagine I like how Paul Bogle him to fight for our rights. The man was a hero, His country. Boom, him know where that happened. Him sacrifice. Boom, you know where that happened. And it end up play out well. I mean, sorry for the Ghana and my ancestors them. But still, me respect the sacrifice that he made for his nation. I thank you.
National hero, Uruguay. You feel the same way as well? Next about moments like that?
Like you put it on the line, right? You know that controversial more than a goal. Everybody will talk about that forever. Like you're gonna do whatever you need to do to make sure your country win. You're gonna try to pull out all the stops. It's the World Cup, The World Cup. Like at the World Cup, you pull out all the stops to make sure your country wins. So
yeah. We're gonna take some comments, but before that, Jeff, the fans want to know. The people want to know the side you support.
Because football was never my first sport, when I watch basketball and everything. So when we start watch football, we just end up watch the Spanish league, end up watch Barcelona, just so forth, anything. And then you have the ex-Barca man them like the versus the Barca versus Real Madrid. So like great players. Then realize say, Jano, alright, them man they play for Spain. Right. I never really hear in Jamaica you only really hear two sides, Argentina and Brazil, so
true.
So I'm looking to the side and I say, Espana side are gone. As a youth, I always want Valdez get the start over Casillas. Right. Stuff like that. So we just work with the Espana side and then they have the little period there where them just that be great Euros, everything, boom, boom, boom. So we work with it and so we'll stick with the side right now. And I strongly believe that Espana will go far in its World Cup. People don't believe it, But we feel like it'll be a midfield World Cup. Yeah. And right now we have one of the strongest midfield in the league. I thank you.
And 2010, when you say all of that come together, all the pieces of the puzzle and lift the trophy.
Oh my God.
You remember where you were that Sunday?
No. I remember where I was because we lost the first match of the
Switzerland game.
I remember that. I say, John Star, really are going. I remember seeing the Iniesta goal. I remember the moment. I can't remember when, but I know I just did. I think I go supermarket right after that too. And then whenever I was Spain jersey, but never a Barca jersey when they built for Interfarm. So I just put on my Interfarm Barca jersey and walk to the supermarket, to represent.
Wow, quite a story that we have indeed with our panel. We're going to take some comments. Firstly, you're going to see a graphic on the screen as relates to the 4 big ones today. We had 1 match on the opening day, 3 yesterday, 4 big matches today. The first one just completed, we'll touch on that quite shortly. That's Argentina, Saudi Arabia. The one coming up at 8 o'clock, that's Denmark, Tunisia. At 11 o'clock, Mexico, CONCACAF Kingpins against Poland. And defending champions France versus Australia. We shall see if that curse of being the champions will continue. Before we hear more from our outstanding panel that we have this morning, let's take some of the comments that we have so far from you guys. Keep it in as well. Keep the comments coming in. We really want to hear from you guys. Jeff getting all of the love and so as well. Dexter's love as well. Ryan Hassan, good morning. That was sure a hot match. Cue the song Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Certainly. Yeah, Dexter's love has agreed to sing it for us. Alex Taylor says, LOL, Saudi Arabia favorites to top the group. Okay, interesting. Let's see.
Just bet.
Let's see what Poland and Mexico has to say about that as well. Aaron Studio says, big up yourself, Dexter. Fire. Claude Preston says, biggest upset ever. Saudi Arabia beat the great Argentina. Quite a match that was. Argentina. Leighton Fraser says, so hot. Wow, teach us a good lesson. Alexis da Costa, conceit and Jeff face. Him shame. I'm trying to
fun fact, the match where they lose, the 1-0 match, when I watch it off of Alexi phone, them time in high school. So big up yourself and big up your phone, Alexi, you know it go.
Big up data plan and them.
Man, that is it.
That work well. Christopher James, after this morning, no team no safe, LOL. Possibly. Alexi, Spain is my team, says Alexi, and I don't believe. Wow. Interesting. Kadish Fishley, big up Kadish. Don't care what else happens in this World Cup. This is the upset of the tournament. Wow. Wow.
That's why I love the World Cup. You know, like, you know,
we have all reason for brutal, you know. Like, it's a serious upset this man.
Yes, indeed.
You know, the goat Vex, you know.
Man fully curry in the pot.
Fully curry.
Yeah. And Alexia again say in class at KC when Spain lost the first game, as Jeff was saying, Mexico versus Poland gonna be a damn good game. Says Alexia. Richard Tucker, World Cup has just begun. Yep, indeed, quite a bit. And that is one of our our producers, his father. Big up, Mr. Tucker, all the way from New York. You know, sharing your responses in as well. That's Lionel Messi, basically strutting his stuff. But Jeff, let me start with you on this one. We were there over in New Jersey quite recently to see that Jamaica game. You were centimeters from the man. I just wanted to know your thoughts when you're that close to the team, and again, you know, how the team played then and, you know, versus now, you know, everything.
More I know. It's like coming there right here, so.
Yeah.
And you there over there, so. Alright, that's a message today, you know.
Let the people know.
Right, that's it.
Yeah.
You see how close. Right, me there, that's a message there. Right, that's it.
Literally. So Jeff has been the closest Jamaican to Messi. Put it that way.
Messi looking at me eye. Truly. You have the picture to prove it. The man look, man. You know, the camera eye for me. You know, I'm a forward back. I'm going to play a ball the next week, brother. You know, great me play. It's like the energy, the forward. But nevertheless, seeing Messi live, the man great. My name not go around there. Like, the man great. Like, the man, that match he didn't even start. I never think him not going to play. You know, because I hear him afraid of D-Lo. Or him they get flu. Something like that. I don't really know. One of them.
All of a sudden.
One of them. But then him fouled on the field and then like with a shoot, and even one of the photographers asked me, yo, what Messi there?
Yeah.
You know, can just come on, I'm just casual, just a par. Him honestly not like him play football. He look like him. No, I can't say that kind of
Striggy, they are calling man.
No,
call Messi Striggy.
No, I'm just turn up.
The man look chill. The man look like one soccer dad, like one father will drop off the youth them at school and watch them play ball and yo, back in my day. You know, the man chill, the man Christy look more like a baller. Yeah. Messi does. But anyway, him come on the field and but when the ball touch him feet, majestic. You know, like Taz.
Yeah. The movement. String him a bit. Yeah.
So anyway, after all of that, I think he must score. He must have 2 goals per week in 5 minutes.
Literally.
Boom.
Yeah.
Even the free kick, majesty. But anyway, moral of the story is, I'm sorry that you had to go through this, Messi. Really apologize. I heard somebody said this might be one of the most complete Argentina teams in history. I highly doubt it, because a team with Messi and Aguero, so like a more complete team than any other team, regardless. I mean, who expect to help him? Di Maria, such man run back and elbow everybody. He never about money today. I don't know, but I mean, boy, I can't say it's definitely the biggest upset of the tournament so far, but definitely don't think Argentina are no longer like contenders, because again, based off my big side, we did lose the first match 1-0 and fall back, come win it at the end of the World Cup. So, you know, so we're not, but definitely them drop below England right now by miles, if not be honest.
Wow. But adversity is a thing still, you know.
True.
Another World Cup. You expect any team, you got to the World Cup, you have a fighting chance, you know. So I expect this. I actually gave them 1 goal, you know. We say 5 and you give them 1 goal, you know. Them very deceiving today.
Some 6-0 and some
prediction. Some proper no sniffing at all and a goal you go on. But you know, as I said, this is the World Cup. The Saudis basically they're them yard. You know, and they really put out a good fight today. Like a couple of times I thought they were going to lose because of how high the line was. But boy, Argentina, rough, you know. Rough pound. Like I feel like as I said, Jeff, that this doesn't mean that they're not going to come out of the group or even top the group. But now the other teams are looking at them like, all right,
you can
it's
get beat.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, it's possible. And I think coming in, probably the pressure, but they on them for kind of, you know, be the team. Probably that is the telling factor with them losing today. But look good, man. Don't look good at all.
Yeah, just to give the viewers a bit of context as well, we have our leaderboard as well with the analysts and production team as well. And Dexter was the only person that said, Saudi Arabia score, man. Saudi Arabia score. Yeah, but you guys can play along at home as well if you want to. You can also bang in your predictions for today's games, tomorrow's game, and we'll see, if they really turn out. So, give us your thoughts as well in the comments below. How you guys are saying about that. Christopher James says, man, say Messi look in a me eye.
Yo, no, you sound jealous. You sound hurt, boy.
Yeah.
Messi looking at your eye. You see Messi on TV, my friend. We know with shampoo Messi you use. That's if you know.
Yeah, kind of wild still.
I'm a virgin. Him use the S-Coon and stool. I'm a virgin.
Yeah, kind of out there, isn't it?
And when he left the field, him give Jeff the thumbs up. Yeah. Like total bien? Yeah.
Total bien.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Otamendi not him head, former Man City.
Yes. I did, I remember. But even that, I don't know Otamendi in them defense. Boy. Him play today, right?
Yeah. Him get some time, yeah. It's disappointing.
But anybody can stop a second goal, though. No matter if you're out there.
So
you might solid, man.
Yeah, but the second goal in particular, like you were talking about, just to recap for the fans and everything, Messi in the 10th minute with a penalty, Saleh Al-Sheri in the 48th, and arguably the goal of the tournament in the 53rd minute, Salim Al-Dassari. We're going to bring up some information for you quite shortly, but one of the goals of the tournament, I'm not sure if you guys were able to catch it or if you're driving here or anything like that, but...
catch up east side, man.
No, when I was in the group and you guys say, yo, what a goal! I was like, yo, I wish goal is Messi score now, cause I said, goal of this season, I must go score it. Nah, I haven't seen it. I can't wait to see it.
Kind of shook him reach and see 2-1 still. I expect the other way, the 2-1 there, but yeah.
Interesting.
Come on.
But basically, in terms of what you saw from the Argentine, how you think that Jamaica will, like you said, Brazil is 50% and Jamaica the other 50% or 45% of Jamaica?
Yeah, I feel like most of Jamaica, Brazil still, but right now, I know all of the people them will go work this morning having them Argentina jersey want to take it off. I don't want to take off an Argentina jersey. And just sit down there like, boy, and know the ridicule are going to come, right? And all of those who don't reach work, you still have time to change it if you want. But we want to talk to all the wagonists them. Don't bother jump off, Steer right. No other team not taking it right now. Steer right on there. Hold on to the loud mouth on it from the World Cup start. I want to say Argentina are going to do everything. But just hold on to it same way. Don't jump off of that team. Stay right on there. Don't jump the wagon. Don't jump the wagon. We have a way when, the team now really go out. Right. So we jump on the others. No. Stay with the team. Don't switch. Keep the same energy there.
Agreed. 100% there. Do you have your link here, Argentina friend them, and check up on them?
My cousin, they want to give me a little FaceTime before the match. Still, because if they make up your mind, give me a whole breakdown as to how I'm going to win. But, so pressure. Give me the time.
That unbeaten run is now shattered. And just to think that, the match against Jamaica was their penultimate win before this run ended. Nickname Alba Celeste, which basically means sky blue and white, 2-time winners. Runners-up 2014, and this is Messi's 5th World Cup, and he created a little piece of history today. He became the 5th player to score at 4 World Cups, and he joined the likes of Pele, Uesila, Miroslav Klose, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. So that is what is going within their favor from the Argentine side of things. Quite shortly you'll see some information and just some tidbits on Saudi Arabia so that your viewers can be a little bit more aware about them, what they bring. Should we even be a bit surprised about what we saw for them? Because in the past, in the 90s in particular, a team with pedigree in particular, but we'll definitely bring you Saudi Arabia on your screen quite shortly so you can get a little insight into them, what they had, because their coach, Hervé Renard, is no joke. French-born, won the Africa Cup of Nations twice, with Zambia and also one with the Ivory Coast as well. And here we go at Saudi Arabia Facts, known as the Green Falcons. And I'm sure you guys saw in the stadium today, the Sea of Green. Their 6th World Cup appearance, their best run was a round of 16 appearance back in '94. They're one of 2 teams in this World Cup alongside Qatar where the entire squad plays locally. And of course, some pedigree, having won the Asian Cup 3 times and gone deep in Confederations Cup in previous years. But Dexter, you made an interesting point. Qatar and Saudi Arabia, they're very close to each other, so it's like a home game in a sense.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you're talking a while ago, and a point came up. A thought came to mind that Jamaica beat Saudi Arabia. Jamaica big side of people. Though Rampudu, we beat Saudi Arabia 2-1. Argentina can't beat them. We beat them 2-1. You see me? We know say people, boy, because so tap on them thing, but Tapa beat Saudi Arabia. So the Argentine fan them know something that we look upon that even make it worse. Yeah. Like, I understand say the work up on them there, them yard, but come on. Come on.
And if only I said that, because I never realized that the only match Argentina played before this was against Jamaica, right?
Jamaica and Honduras. I remember, yeah.
So it was Honduras, then Jamaica.
Honduras, Jamaica, UAE, then the World Cup.
Right.
Yeah.
So technically, what you say is Jamaica get like the hockey assist.
Yes.
So like when somebody actually open one jar, and you pass it off to the next person. So technically, we help win. So big up Coach Al Grimmy, Coach Grim, lad, bro.
Yeah. Yo, the man powered out different this morning.
More than the story. We got the reggae boys cause when the help beat Argentina.
Genius, Absolute genius. And I mean, we saw fragments of that against Cameroon as well, with the way that the team set up and everything of that nature. So, anything in line? Reggae coach, go apply for the job?
Me if I apply, yes. Me if I apply for the job, man. Anything possible right now, It can't get worse than this.
Yeah.
Or I gotta keep rub that in. I can't get worse than this. So the bottom of the barrel right there, so man, trust me. Rough, man. I don't think we kind of setting it how bad this is until the Argentinian board start cuss and the people them start cuss and hit start. Me hear booing in the crowd,
Yeah.
There was booing in the crowd.
Yeah.
No, Argentinians don't play with them players,
Facts.
There was booing in the crowd, so the people obviously are going to be displeased with how the performance and stuff. You're expected to beat a Saudi Arabian team. So now come out and not do what you're supposed to. That worries that, man. Worries.
Indeed. We're going to play a clip for you as it relates to the defending champions. But before we do that, just going to take a couple more quick comments that you guys have been saying. Chris James says, Messi is the lion, CR7 is the GOAT. But I think the real issue is us fans expecting these guys to carry the team themselves. Messi alone couldn't do it this morning. Argentina looked very weak. Interesting point there. Rashid Hall, big up. Rashid, I hope you're doing well. Says, big coach that. Of course, referring to Hervé Renard and what he has done. Joel Lee also tuning in. Saudi Arabia showed why they qualified for the World Cup, top of their group. Yep, that is true. Asian, they did very, very well. Big point there. Chris James also adding, I recognized the coach, just couldn't remember where. And Chris says, Jeva used some weird analogies, but it's effective,
That mean holy passes fam.
Yeah.
I mean, build a metaphor similes book. Come on, get it together.
Exactly. Somebody who paid attention in English class.
That is it. We got Miss White, Miss Telfa.
It's what, Fortis? That's what them call it?
Yeah. Bring me a farm. I never laid on Fortis because the rest of them Fortis.
I work up with that.
All right, let's use this opportunity now to have a look at the French team as you look slightly into the tactics, a bit of strengths, a bit of weaknesses, and then we'll come back and have a discussion about them.
What can we expect from the French heading into this tournament in particular? Well, let's have a look at the way that they lined up at the previous World Cup. This is how they lined up when they won the World Cup in 2018. They went with that 4-2-3-1 system. And basically what transpired is that Benjamin Pavard and Lucas Hernandez were given that freedom to press forward, and they supported in the attack quite brilliantly. They moved quite forward, and they also aided in the attack in terms of whipping in crosses into the box, and they certainly were a menace for the opposition. Pavard, especially down the right-hand side, especially with that brilliant goal that he scored against Argentina. And of course, Lucas Hernandez as well, also was a handful for the opposition as well. There was Raphael Varane and Samuel Umtiti who scored in the semifinals against Belgium. So Varane and Umtiti, that was the defense. Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante, those were the midfielders just in front. Blaise Matuidi, Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe, and Olivier Giroud. That was the 4-2-3-1 that the French team used at the last World Cup. Pogba, he was given that bit of license to press forward a little bit. And basically what transpired, Kante would sit, Giroud went up top, almost like you could say a target man. Giroud didn't take a single shot on target throughout the course of the entire World Cup. Griezmann was a bit fast, and Mbappe was mobile all over the place. But Pogba was so critical to this team. And you know why? Because of his distribution. He used the ball quite effectively. He's able to find passes forward, diagonal passes, and also side-to-side passes. And with the pace that Mbappe possessed, his passes, Pogba, were so critical. It's amazing the number of time and space that he got on the ball to be able to use that arsenal that he has to be able to open up. Now, heading into this 2022 World Cup, have the French team changed? Well, yes, you could say so. Hugo Lloris keeps his place. So like I said, a 3-4-1-2 or a 3-5-2, whichever way you want to look at it. And now a back three. What are the benefits of a back three? Well, back three, firstly, it covers more space horizontally, which means it is much more difficult for the opposing team to press them. So that is something in the favor of the French team. Another benefit for the French team is that there are more avenues to start attacks, more points of attack. It could be with Varane, it could be with Saliba, and it could also be with Koundé. So, no Kimpembe, Titi, no Pogba, no N'Golo Kante. That's why we have Camavinga here and Tchouaméni here. To be fair, the tandem between these two are not 100% clicked just yet, but these are still good professional football players that can have an impact on the French team, especially Camavinga. In the second season at Real Madrid, I'm starting to see elements of him that could be part of this French system for a decade, perhaps even longer. Benjamin Pavard on the right, continuing along the same lines of what we saw in 2018, and a slight change to the left, not Lucas Hernandez, but his brother, Theo. So he has been a bit adventurous and has progressed quite nicely and has surpassed his brother in the pecking order where that is concerned. Griezmann maintains his position behind the forward, and Mbappe gets his opportunity centrally. Now, this person, number 9 here, it should have been Karim Benzema, but his injury means that there will be an adjustment for the French team. And there are a couple of options that the French could call upon for this competition itself. You might look at, for example, Ousmane Dembele. You could look at Giroud, and you could look at Marcus Thuram.
What a difference 4 years can make for the French. Quite a number of changes, a different system, same coach, but a team that has matured in certain aspects, changes in others. Yep, champions of Europe, in terms of the world, in terms of the World Cup, UEFA Nations League winners a couple of years ago, and we know that round of 16 exit at Euro 2020. But as you can see, and I'm sure you saw in the graphic, there is a question that I'm sure that I'll be putting to the panel in just a moment or so, that concern with that Benzema injury. Dexter, I'll start with you on this one where it's particular, that man to assist Mbappe in attack. Your thoughts? You know, you have so much different options. You have the likes of Dembele, you have also of Thuram, or would you go with Giroud? So in your eyes, you know, your thoughts about this French unit?
Well, I think, to be honest, France has enough to look past the injury of Benzema. I think they have enough quality in the team to be able to go forward. I think more likely they might go with Giroud because of experience and stuff. I think they made us run along with him because of, you know, what he has produced over the years, the fact that he has been in the squad for years, he understands the work up stage and stuff. So yeah, I would say France has enough. They're definitely going to miss Benzema. You're going to miss a baller like that, you know? You're going to miss him in the squad, but they have a lot to prove. They have a lot to prove. A lot of doubters are there. But I think they have enough to go forward, and I think Giroud more likely will be the person to fill that gap.
When you say miss, not just one game I miss. That's all.
He's going to be out for the tournament, unfortunately.
Whoa. Wait, that update, we never get the update this morning.
Yeah, you know, Massacre, give them an update.
No, I don't know. I don't want much like, you know, like the Kyle Walker situation or the...
Yeah, the situation on Saturday was just extreme to a point where he wouldn't be able to play the 3 matches. Yeah.
I start. I start. Like,
Question,
consider that enough of them team here are the ball of them. Make up the injury, but the injury them just I never feel like for do. I don't know, it can't.
But it's also a weird period for our World Cup, you know. If you remember that part, that's
you fully understand about
football.
The man them did good. Come and then some. I can't remember so much like at World Cup injuries. Like the man them didn't play a match. And then injured before the first match.
Right.
Yeah, kind of bad goes on.
Well, I don't know if he would really sit out still because remember, him win the Ballon d'Or.
Well, true.
You want to prove to people, say, man, me are the man. Especially some stuff I heard that, he was saying that it's a dream for him to win that. So the fact that you get to go to the World Cup now and you want to prove with the squad that, what we did the last World Cup wasn't a fluke. We want to do it again. And especially with somebody like that who I go score a goal. Always find a way to score goals. I'm gonna be really missed. But I think France has enough. They have enough experience. Like France is a stacked team, The fact that they have so much choices in terms of who would come in and stuff, and Giroud has not been performing badly either. So
Well, if you were Deschamps, in your shoes, out of those 3 or 4 that I named in particular with Mbappe,
I saw Giroud.
You saw with Giroud?
Jail Hyde would agree with me also. Huge fan of Olivier. But Dembele. I would figure. Because Mbappe plays at a pace that Dembele could keep up with. Giroud and the other. They kind of. But I still go with the Giroud. He's proven, tested, class. I go scorer. Especially when I need him. He's there. So I definitely go with the Giroud.
Yeah. Before we take our next clip, just wanted to get your thoughts about it. Didier Deschamps says he's not going to call a replacement. You have Anthony Martial waiting, would go to the airport in a heartbeat, and he is not there. Dexter, your thoughts, about the options that France have at home, and they just they go work
coach
with
know him team, True. Coach know him team. It's just like England. A lot of people would say, "Boy, why you never carry X person or Y person and thing?" But the coach knows his team. He knows exactly what he wants. It would have more likely taken him by surprise. Obviously, nobody's expecting Benzema not to be there, but the coach know him team and pick him squad. Like this is a World Cup where, especially though England started, I'm not going to really look at the coach and say, "Boy, you should have carried in this person or that person." And sometimes you have to make some tough decisions.
But here I know, because this is a World Cup of injuries. I feel like it would have probably make more sense just to have him there, just in
optional,
case. Yeah, cause God forbid, something else got into one of the next striker them, then things shaky. So.
Well, I said France is stuck still, France stuck, right? And the group that they're in, I think they're expected to come out. No matter.
They said the same thing with Argentina.
And that kind of make me a little bit concerned. But I think France have a type of pedigree and they come on to World Cup and them think they're fit to make it through.
Fair.
All right, so we had our view from our analysts in terms of the number 9, that person that would play alongside Mbappe. We're going to have another clip for you and look at some of the potential limitations of this French team heading into their opening match later today.
What are some things that, some concerns? Well, the one glaring concern is right here. It's always challenging with that 2-man midfield because it is much easier to run over. And this was evident when France played Denmark twice this year, and they lost both games in particular. A 2-man midfield, it's much more difficult. But if you have that congestion, if somebody was a little bit deeper, then it would have been easier. But with the 2 in the middle, opposition will find pockets of space in and around these areas to exploit. And that is something for the French team that they'll be looking at and saying, that's where the opposition might have space. Hugo Lloris, not the same player that we've seen. Prone to a few lapses in concentration and some miscommunication with his players. Sometimes a change in mind, in 2 minds. He might demand the ball from Raphael Varane, but 3 seconds later he might be no, and has to play and catch up with the Salibas and the Kundas of this world. So Hugo Lloris, another point that the opposition will be looking to exploit. So the midfield too, Hugo Lloris as well. Those are some areas that I'm sure the opposition will be hoping to exploit. As we said, no Pogba, no Kante, no Benzema. 3 big misses for them. 3 very, very big misses.
So the French team at the last World Cup had that 4-2-3-1 sort of system, but of late they've opted with that 3 at the back, and that is exactly the sort of challenges that sometimes that back 3 presents, and of course that midfield 2 of recent note. You know, Dexter, we were talking earlier and you were saying about the depth of strength. So even with Pogba, no Kante and Benzema, you still think there's enough in the tank for the French?
Yeah, France are an experienced team, you know. France are an experienced team, and of course injuries are going to mess up your team. It is a given, right? Any team at all, no matter what sports you play, injuries are going to have an effect on your team. But I think they have enough firepower, especially to get through a team like Australia. I have them here 4 love.
Really?
Yeah, I have them giving Australia 4 love. So, yeah, I believe based on just the firepower that France has, that they should be able to overcome the teams in their groups.
I mean, yeah, no, I right now I think France's defense seem a little bit more solid to me with Saliba and Varane around there, you know, something. I believe in the defense a little more. I feel like it's like a sandwich with bread, but the cheese thin, you see. Because the midfield, I don't want to, them good enough, but them not great. Them good, and then, you know, we know them have the firepower up top with Mbappe and Giroud and all, but we say, I mean, I think their defense is good enough to get them through, and them have man we can score goal, especially Mbappe. Beep, beep.
Yeah. So we've had a look at the French and also their opposition. We'll look at them quite shortly. But now it's Mexico and Poland. You know, that game takes center stage at 11 a.m. CONCACAF Kingpins. Well, we saw what the United States did on Monday, getting a point. Here we go with Mexico. El3. Well, it's been quite a journey for them in terms of that round of 16 hurdle has always been a plague for them. Their best runs, of course, back in 70 and 86, heading towards the quarterfinals. We know what lies ahead of them 4 years' time, co-hosting a World Cup, so they'll be the first country to host a World Cup 3 times. But Dexter, a big talking point is going into the World Cup when there's a lot of reliance on Jimenez, who we've seen in the Premier League for Wolves, but they've decided not to go back for Javier Hernandez.
The funny part about Mexico is a side that I think in the World Cup they tend to produce. They do very well in the World Cup generally. So I go right back to what I say about the coaches.
Yeah.
They have decisions to make, right? And it might be for some of us as fans who might look on and we say, boy, I think they might make the right decisions. But they know the team, they know exactly what is happening in training and just the form that each player is on. So I think they have enough. I actually expect it to be a tough fight between Poland and Mexico. Actually having them come out of the group second.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think they have enough to get through as well with France.
Okay.
But to be honest, this World Cup is going to be
Argentina,
a situation where we look at the initial matches and see how each team plays, and then we'll make some decisions from there as to what we think. Because the start this morning kind of threw a lot of us off.
Yeah.
It's going to be unexpected stuff happening, for me at least.
Yeah. Jeff, you have to say, though, this game, the Mexico-Poland, it can make a big difference in how the group ends, especially after what we saw Saudi Arabia, the Argentina game as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
It really could be a Mexico, Poland leaving, like Mexico and Saudi leaving the group. I mean, you just never really know. But then again, I don't think. I mean, Mexico generally performs well at the World Cup. I'm not buying it. And I also think that Jimenez might be doubtful for this first game. You know, so I'm not really buying it. I think it's gonna be probably Poland, Argentina. That's who I had.
Interesting.
I mean, you call them the kingpin. I don't know if that's like a play on Mexico and
CONCACAF phrase for them. Yeah.
So I feel like say Poland too reliant on Lewandowski.
Yeah, but
there we go.
But thinking I'm gonna deliver. Honestly, thinking I'm gonna deliver. He tends to always deliver.
I feel like Mexico have a lot to get around.
Yep, Poland in their 9th World Cup appearance, their best third in 74 and 82. They haven't passed the group stages of a World Cup since 1986. And of course, we know Robert Lewandowski, arguably the best number 9 in the world right now. Their top scorer and the 11th highest international scorer of all time. A lot of eyes on him since, that move to Barcelona.
Yeah, he has been, boy, to be honest, Lewandowski not gonna drop the ball at all.
I think he's just bored.
Yeah, yeah. You want a challenge,
Yeah,
right? Something new. But me just try something else, But the man's a goal scorer. You can't avoid him scoring goals, and it's just what he does. But to be honest, this is just me. I just feel like Mexico more like you're gonna come out ahead.
Maybe I'm just bad man. I don't know. Cause yesterday I really want Wales beat up US, and I've been making it very clear. Maybe I'm just biased on this. I mean, they're CONCACAF, but they're not Jamaica. So at the end of the day,
we know we have that little rivalry with them already. But I feel like they have the pedigree, man. We see in the match still. To be honest, you have to really. But that World Cup, we're gonna see the match really.
You have to watch the match.
Yeah.
We've certainly had a brilliant panel this morning. Finally, gentlemen, and we know that we're running out of time, but let me start with you, Dexter. Denmark and Tunisia. Christian Eriksen back in the thick of things. Euro 2020 semi-finalist.
Yeah, very happy he's there. Especially what happened, like for the recovery and stuff. And I'm very happy about that. That still not means that them all go through. No sympathy.
No. Let's go and get the exercise.
Just a reminder, earlier today, Saudi Arabia shocking Argentina by 2-1. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Denmark, Tunisia at 11. It's Mexico against Poland and France against Australia at 2 o'clock. Keep an eye on Matt Ryan, the goalkeeper of Australia. We'll be back for a post-game show at 4 o'clock. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to 876 Stream JA. Thank you so much to our panel as well, Dexter's Lab, for coming on. And also, Jeb, the journalist, for coming on as well. Guys, anything you'd like to say to the folks back home?
Well, just go enjoy the World Cup, It's going to be a lot of unexpected
Viva
stuff.
España! ¿Cómo te llamas?
Baga unexpected stuff. Curry.
That's it, guys. Take care. See you guys at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.